Hi everybody and welcome back to episode 123 of Enter Crypto, where twice a day I keep you informed and fully up to date on all things crypto. If you feel like that's something you'd be interested in, then please subscribe to the channel. I put out a new video every 12 hours. So the article I've got for you right now is from CNBC's tech section. It's written by Ryan Brown and it's titled Bitcoin's 2023 rally gathers steam as cryptocurrency briefly tops $23,000. So this is some good news. I don't normally talk about price because it's a little bit cringe, and I'm not really a clickbait sort of channel. I don't want people coming here just because it's, you know, for the money. I don't give it investment advice in any way, shape or form. I'm not a financial advisor. This is purely for entertainment. So I really don't try to stay away from the price and the hype of you know, number go up, shall we say. But there's just been so much bad news recently that I thought I'll throw in some good news, because it is good news. So Bitcoin has got to $23,000 recently. If you have been living under a cave and may not know that, it happened really quickly as well. It happened within a few days, going from sort of 16,800, 17k up to 23 in literally a matter of 3 or 4 days. And I think it caught a lot of people off guard, actually. I think because everybody's been talking about a recession so much, and that because it's crashed so much from 69k down to 16k, I think people have been really fearful. People have lost a lot of money. Everyone's thinking it's going to zero, you know. And of course, anyone who follows this channel knows that I am a big Bitcoin bull. In my opinion, it will never go to zero now. It's too established. It's been going too long, and it's too good. So I think a lot of people, though, especially on the retail side, have just kind of decided that it's not going anywhere, and that they would be smart to take the money out and sell. And I think that's just what's put the sell side pressure on Bitcoin, and why it's gone down so much. And because of all that, it's now made a big sort of rally. We don't know whether this is going to be a bear market rally, and we're still in a bear market. We are still in a bear market. We've had nothing to support the thesis that we wouldn't be, i.e. that's to say it hasn't broken any long-term resistance lines. So as it stands now, it's still a bear market rally. If it continues to go up, we may see a decoloration with the S&P, which would be great, because the Bitcoin and crypto in general has followed the S&P up to now quite well. It's just been a high correlation with the S&P 500. It's not good. We want to be something different. We want to be our own asset class. So we need to get away from that and start trading independently of the rest of any of the other financial sectors. Actually, it would be great for Bitcoin to fulfill its narrative of being the digital gold that people run to when things get bad and scary. But that is yet to be seen. That narrative is not being true up to now anyway. Bitcoin's still a risk-on asset, unlike gold. So let's get into the article anyway. Bitcoin continued its climb on Monday as traders took news of another crypto bankruptcy in their stride and placed bets on a Federal Reserve pivot to cutting interest rates. The price of the number one token briefly topped 23k on Monday after touching $23,333 Saturday for the first time since August the 19th, according to Coinmetrics. The jump brings Bitcoin up almost 39% since the start of January. The second biggest digital coin rallied as high as $1,664 on Saturday. That's the first time it has surpassed $1,600 since November the 7th. It was last trading at $1,637 a piece. Bitcoin has kicked off 2023 on a positive note, with investors hoping for a reversal in the monetary tightening that spooked market players last year. The Fed and other central banks began cutting interest rates in 2022, shocking holders of risky asset classes like stocks and digital tokens. Publicly listed tech stocks and private venture capital-backed startups particularly took a beating, as investors sought protection in assets perceived as safer, such as cash and bonds, and gold as well. It's not mentioned that here, but gold has been performing very well. It hasn't. For example, people expected gold to rocket. And I think it's just, if you look at the history of gold, we haven't had anything bad enough for gold to actually behave like that. Although there's been a war, there hasn't been a war in the places where most gold is traded, which is basically in the West and in Asia. There's been no war there, so that's the reason gold. That's my opinion anyway. That's what I think the reason is for gold not. But it's held its own very well. And whilst everything else has been crashing, gold has not been crashing at all. It's been holding well. It's gone up this last week and a half. It's gone up in price. I think we'll be at $2,000 an ounce soon. Hopefully. I say hopefully, but usually when gold goes up a lot, it usually means something bad's happened in the world. So I hope it just goes up without anything bad happening, although that would be not what it usually does. That would be going in line with what it's done historically. With inflation now showing signs of cooling in the US, some market players are hopeful that central banks will start easing the pace of rate rises, or even slash rates. Economists previously told CNBC they predict a Fed rate cut could happen as soon as this year. Fed tightening seems to be lighter and inflation less of a risk, Charles Hayter, CEO of crypto data site CryptoCompare, said in emailed comments to CNBC. There is hope there will be more caution to rate rises globally. The Fed is likely to keep interest rates high for the time being. However, some officials at the bank have recently called for a reduction in the size of quarterly rate hikes, wary of a slowdown in economic activity. The world's top digital currency, Bitcoin, is increasingly looking like it has put in its bottom, according to Vijay Iyer, the Vice President of Corporate Development and International Crypto Exchange, Luna. I wouldn't say it was an interesting article, but it was certainly a positive one, and a nice article to read, especially since we've had so much bad news. Just lastly, on the last point about them saying that Bitcoin has bottomed, the fact is that nobody knows whether Bitcoin's bottomed. We are still in a bear market, so this could just be a little rally, and then we could sink down to further lows. Not to be a pessimist, but that is what the charts are telling us. We have to go by what the charts is and not by what we read and hear your latest influencers say, or what the mainstream media says. Learn technical analysis if you don't know it already. It's not a difficult thing to learn if you put a decent amount of time into it, and put a little bit of effort and commitment into it. You can learn it for anybody really. You don't need to be a genius or mathematically advanced to be able to use technical analysis and to be able to benefit from it. It's really a great tool, in my opinion. So my point being that just be careful when people are saying that the bottom's in. They don't know that the bottom's in. Nobody knows. So do your own research. Prepare for whenever I make an investment, or whenever I'm buying crypto, or anything for that matter, it doesn't have to be just crypto, I'm always thinking about what is the downside, what is the risks of me losing this money. Is it too much money for me to risk? Like, basically, would I cry if I lost this amount of money? If I would, then it's too much money to pay in that. It's too much of a risk for me. It's too much of a risky investment. I don't want to be going to bed at night worrying about that I'm over leveraged, or that I've put too much money into something. If that's the case, then I haven't risk managed it's outside my risk tolerance, basically, and it wouldn't be a good investment decision, because even if it went up, it's not worth the stress of being underwater for any period of time. So I always invest, and I always think what can I lose, or what is the downside. I never think about what's the upside and how much money I could make, because that'll look after itself. You don't even need to think about that. If you're making money, you don't need to worry. It's the downside you need to be thinking about and worrying about, and be very defensive when you deploy capital. That's that's how I deploy capital. So that's what I've got for you now. Remember, everybody, to please subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching and listening to me. Join my team, and I'll keep you updated on all things crypto every 12 hours. Smash that like button if you feel you got value from this video, and I'll see you all in 12 hours time.